Hi everyone, hope you're all okay and staying safe and well. So as I'm sure you know, on Wednesday of this week it was Holocaust Memorial Day, and you will have been having emails every day and a chapter of a story each day about the Holocaust. So I thought we would use this as the topic for our lesson today. So, as you may or may not know, food can be quite significant in religion and is a big part of culture all around the world. So Jewish food has been shaped by the diverse experiences of the Jewish population across the world and by the countries they've lived in. And Jewish culture includes a wide range of symbolic foods for different festivals. And one of the things we're going to look at today is a food called Hamentaschen, which is eaten at Purim. And you're going to find out a bit more about that today. So food is important in all sorts of cultures and religions. So, for example, in the UK, there's many of us are Christians, and one of the foods that we would traditionally have would be pancakes, and they're made on Shrove Tuesday to mark the start of Lent. So in every sort of culture and religion, you can find recipes that are linked to religious festivals and events. So during the Holocaust, the Nazis restricted food available in camps and ghettos, and as a result, hundreds of thousands of Jews starved to death. And even when faced with the ever-present threat of death by hunger, many Jews attempted to retain their faith and culture. And for instance, some starving prisoners at a concentration camp were so determined to fulfill the religious requirements, they saved their already limited food rations so that they could follow elements of their religion. So the recipe that we're looking at today is something called Hamentaschen, and it's quite an important part of Jewish culture. But for today's lesson, I'd like you to research the origin of this recipe, so where it comes from. And it's traditionally eaten at Purim. And you're probably thinking, what on earth is that? Well, again, that's part of your task today, to carry out some independent research to find out about this festival and the significance of the recipe. So what I would like you to do is put together preferably a Google slide presentation if you've got access to a computer, or if not, a fact file on paper. You need to research Purim, the festival, and also research the Hamentaschen recipe and produce the presentation. And you can put as much information in as you like, but you should include the following information. So what is Purim? Who was Haman? What does the triangle shape of the Hamentaschen represent? And there may be more than one answer for that. And what traditional fillings would be used when making the Hamentaschen? So you need to do some research to find out the answers to all these questions. And then maybe you could make some Hamentaschen today, or perhaps over the weekend. So if you are planning on making some, the recipe is going to be on the next slide, but make sure you have permission from your parent or carer. Remember food hygiene and safety. So wash your hands before you start. If you've got long hair, tie your hair back, and take care when using the oven. So remember, the oven's going to be hot when you're putting the biscuits in and out. And so make sure you use oven gloves. If you do make some, then I'd love to see what you make. So can you email me a photo, please, and I can share them on the Instagram page. So your recipe for the Hamentaschens here. So it's quite a straightforward recipe. So just some soft margarine and sugar that you beat together with a wooden spoon until it's completely mixed. Then you add in a beaten egg and some vanilla. If you haven't got vanilla, it doesn't matter, you can leave it out. And then sieve in some plain flour and some baking powder. And you mix that to form a dough. And then my top tip is once your dough is formed, I would pop it in the fridge for about 20 minutes. I tried rolling mine out straight away and it was incredibly sticky and very difficult to make it into the triangle shapes. So once you've popped your dough in the fridge, you could do your washing up and clear up ready for the next step. And then you roll out the pastry, cut it into circles. Again, another tip is don't make your circles too small, otherwise they're too fiddly to be able to fold up. It's up to you what fillings you put in, and that's part of your research, which is why I haven't included what fillings you're going to use on the recipe. But I may well have used some Nutella in some of mine, but it's for you to find out what fillings you'd like to make. And then I've just got some pictures along the side of the screen to show you how to make the triangle. All right, so as I said, if you make some, make sure you've got permission, make sure you clean up after yourself, and I look forward to seeing what you make and look forward to seeing your work as well. Right, now it's time for me to go off and eat mine that I made earlier. Take care, bye.